Hey, what's up, Beans?
What's up?
How's Mother's Day with the family been?
It's big deal. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, of
Mm,
course.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right. You still got well, yeah, you're still in high school, so you get still got like another what, like a little less than a month now until like you're finished with this year.
Yeah, yeah. Like about like less than a month, yeah.
Okay, okay, I gotcha. Okay, okay. You excited for actually Hoosier Saga since that's going to be coming up here in
Oh yeah,
the
that's
next week?
like next week. Yeah,
Or
I'm
well,
excited
not.
for it.
Or well, I guess technically
We
this
just found
week, but
yeah, it's this week, but it's like 2 days, so it's like
mm-hmm.
I still gotta get the hotel.
Yep, yep. Oh, you still don't have the hotel
So
set? What's going on?
yeah, but I should be getting that this week. Like in like the next few days.
Gotcha. No worries, no worries.
Yeah. But I'm excited for that. I'm hoping that I do good.
Yeah, I was about to say I'll be wishing you the best too. Um,
Mhm.
all right. Well, let me go ahead and get started with the session
But
here. Oh,
but let me go ahead
mm-hmm.
and link you the other bot I was gonna send you. This is from the hammer down, like the most recent hammer down.
Okay. Sounds good. So what we'll probably do
And
with
it's with my
that. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
it was with my set with Mysterica.
Okay. So with Mysterica.
Let me pull it up.
All right. So while you're doing that, what we'll probably do with that, because I got a couple of things for each of the topics that you wanted to talk about, that we can go ahead and go over. But what we'll do when we get to like looking at the VODs is we'll focus on the match against Doorstop first, and then after that we'll
Hmm.
maybe kind of compare and see if some of the stuff that we talked about here translates over to that one.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. So
So
while
let me
you're all,
go ahead and pull it up. Because
gotcha.
I found the Mysterica set kind of interesting because I beat a Palu and then I beat a Palu game one and then she switched to Zelda and then she beat me
Mm,
with the Zelda.
okay. So yeah, that'll be some
And it was like,
interesting
okay, like
stuff.
and then I was like, okay, like that's just the Zelda that beat T. So I was like, okay.
Oh, I didn't know BT.
Yeah, that was like 2019, I think.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Well,
So
here.
let me go ahead and link it.
Okay.
Uh,
So let's
can I
see.
get the timestamp too?
Okay. So how we'll probably start this session is we'll probably go over your goal. Start with that, and then from there we can start
Okay.
with whichever topic that you want to actually go into between playing
Okay.
from behind, getting out of the corner, optimizing punishes. That sound good?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So let's
Okay.
first. Okay. So let me first pull up
All right, should be linked
my
now.
little doc. Okay. Yep, I see it there. So yeah, and
And it's
then
at the timestamp too when the set begins.
oh sweet, thank you. So yeah, we'll get into that here in a second. But what I'm going to do is share your screen, and then we'll talk about a couple things. Share screen. Uh, oh, actually, I want to do it instead of that way. Stop stream. I want to actually share. Actually, yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that for now. Just share that one, and then I'll change it after that.
Okay.
But so for your goal, let's pull that back up here. Your goal, you said that you wanted to actually focus on becoming ranked globally, becoming a top
Hmm.
NA Pac-Man, and also being like
Hmm.
ranked number one in Indiana.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like it might seem a little bit far-fetched, but to me, it doesn't really seem that far-fetched because I kind of feel like I've been like kind of like I've kind of been like improving at like a pretty quick rate,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of feel like I'm there where I can like take sets off of like the top Indiana players, and like some people might consider me to be like a top 10 right now, maybe sometimes like top five.
Okay. I was about to say, what was your most recent for PR and everything? Have you gotten ranked
The
on
most
there?
recent PR that I've been on It was last year. It was quarter 2. I was sixth,
6 on there. Okay.
and I haven't been able to get on the PR like that much just because of like traveling issues. Like I can't really travel out of region too much.
Right, right. Okay. So yeah, so last one that you're basically on was 6. So like you said, not that far away from it, which is good. B1 ranked. Okay. So how I probably look at like your goals, like if this like kind of want to make it like more structured, is I think like it
Hmm.
sounds like the ultimate goal, like being ranked number one, like Indiana and also becoming top in a Pac-Man sounds like good goals. But I think the ultimate one that stands out the most is becoming ranked globally.
Hmm. And I
Um.
understand that like that one is gonna take a little bit longer,
Mhm. Yep, I
and
agree.
it'll probably just have to like wait until like the next game. Like you know what I mean?
Right, right. Um,
Yeah.
there's still some things. Yeah, and I definitely agree with you there. But there's still probably some things that like we can work, like help work towards what we're going to talk about today. And I'll give you some tools
Yeah.
for it. So how I probably see how I kind of like see it structured then, if in terms of like getting towards like that as the ultimate goal, is still keeping like underneath that some sub like milestone goals. So becoming top NA Pac-Man and also becoming ranked number one would be milestone goals that would help you
Hmm.
check your progress towards becoming ranked globally, um,
Yeah.
as well as finding out because like globally I think the biggest thing is the Lumi rank, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So probably next, like along with those things, probably your next biggest thing is just finding out um, what placements it takes like to get on the Lumi rank, like between like
Yeah.
um, just to start like between
Yeah.
130 and 150, and then also see like
Yeah.
what skills maybe that you're seeing from them that they use to actually be able to get onto the Lumi rank that maybe you're either working on or you maybe not
Yeah.
haven't thought of.
Because also like the main thing about being ranked is because like you have to like obviously like attend like P tiers, S tiers, like all that stuff. Like I go to D tiers, but like that's not even gonna do it. Like B tiers, C tiers,
Mm-hmm.
I've been to a couple P tiers. I've been to 2 P tiers, but I was really only like one placement off from like actually like qualifying for the Lumi rank.
Mm. Ah, that sucks.
Hmm.
But it's telling you that
Like
you are there.
like I went to 2 Genesises and I placed the same, just like one off from actually getting to that placement of like qualifying for Lumi rank.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
at Afterburner, which was a B plus tier, I think
Mhm.
the qualification was 13th. I got 17th.
Ah, dang.
Yeah. So it's only just like I'm one off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I get you. I get you there. But it's showing it's there. So it's
Yeah.
just a little more push there with a couple of things, and I definitely could see you getting onto like Lumi rank or like at least getting that process started.
Like the HM kind of like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that area.
Hmm.
I guess it was area 51, but like I guess area 150 in this
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, but like really it's just like HM really.
Yeah. All right.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that's where I think for like your goals there. So let me move on to now um the three topics that you want to actually talk about. So was there a certain one that you wanted to start with or
I kind of want to focus on like playing like from behind. Like that's like the one that's like I've always been like wondering about. And it's like I've been trying to find ways to like put that into my gameplay, but it's like it's still like it's something I can't like find a solution to. You know what I mean?
yeah, yep. So
Because
yeah,
like I
let's
found solutions to playing in disadvantage. I found solutions to like what was the other thing I wanted to work on?
optimizing like
Optimizing punish game.
mhm with advan like where you
Yeah,
position yourself.
yeah, I found solutions to those 2 things, but like playing from behind is like something I just don't know how to do. I haven't really found like a solid like game plan for playing from behind.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and go from there. So question I got to start with it is how do you feel mentally when you're playing from behind?
I guess like mentally it's just like okay, like I gotta find a way to like take the stock or like get the percentage. So it's like I'm gonna try out everything, and if it doesn't work, I'll try on to like if one thing doesn't work, I'll try on to the next thing. If that thing doesn't work, I'm gonna try on like from the next thing. and kind of like I don't really like playing like super defensive because it's like okay, like what like what's that getting me? Like no damage, like you know what I mean?
Mhm. Okay.
Hmm.
So it changes to a focus of, all right, so let's try to get damage. Let's try to get this stock,
Hmm.
and kind of be a little bit more aggressive towards them.
Hmm. But like don't be like swingy like aggressive.
Yep.
Don't just be like oh I'm just gonna run in and like just like do like like Nea Fea like or like just like an aggressive option in general.
Mhm. Okay.
Because eventually just like if you do that like you're just gonna be predictable and like they're just gonna be able to like to telegraph that.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with
Hmm.
you there on that. So then I'm just writing these things down. Be
Hmm.
so more aggressive. Okay. So how I'll just go into like some things that like I kind of like was seeing from like your gameplay and like what I kind of think of like with comebacks is that it's
Hmm.
kind of a mentality where like in my experience like playing from behind just starts with winning the mental battle usually against
Hmm.
yourself. It's like you're focusing on
Hmm.
like these kind of like basically these things is like trying to make sure that you're in the trying to do just what's done in the present because there's no use trying to focus on things that's happened in the past because that's not going to help you with what you need to do to actually get the stock or get percentage on them right now.
Okay. So kind of
Um,
like what you're saying is that like if I was to like losing like say like an interaction in neutral, right? Like I'm gonna be thinking about that, but you don't want to think about that. You want to think about like what's actually good, like what's happening right now.
right. Yeah. And it sounds
Hmm.
like you kind of are already thinking about that when you're trying to see how you can get the stock or the percentage. It's just making
Hmm.
sure that you're not if what would be a good example of it? It's basically like thinking the same of like if someone takes your stock for example and like it was just like the most ridiculous way that you got your stock taken like someone just goes off stage and
Hmm.
just falcon punches you.
Hmm.
um
Or if you just get pineappled or like you miss a tag off stage and like
right
you just died because of that.
right, exactly. And the biggest thing with that is just that yeah, that happened, but at the same time that can just happen to anyone in the game, so it's probably just a good time to just accept that that happened, just focus in and then
Hmm.
just think of what's the next thing that you can do to just get yourself back into this game as soon as possible, and not dwell
Hmm.
on that because that's how you usually that's how usually comebacks stop is when you start actually getting more frustrated at what happened earlier and then now every hit that
Hmm.
happens to you gets you even more frustrated because you're still thinking about that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, so how you can get the next stock. Um, so yeah, so things that can help with that is like when you're down, like down basically is looking at the percentages and just thinking, okay, what type of kill confirms or what type of setups can I easily go for that'll just like change, like get this matchup back to being even or close to even. Um,
Okay.
and thinking of their habits and like realizing how you can actually use those to help you punish them and get back into the game.
Okay.
What's the next part? And then the other part about it is just understand that basically you have to understand that you have to take time to try and get back into matches because
Okay.
I think the big thing like when you said like trying to be more aggressive and get into their face, it makes sense. But at the same
Hmm.
time, if you've got time on the clock to kind of like still play how you normally like to play, then there's no need to
Hmm.
actually like just go, like you said,
Hmm.
not all out aggression, but at the same time, maybe not even have to be too push too much forward in aggression. Like you can still
Hmm.
play your normal game plan and everything like that, as long as it's not
Hmm.
like 30 seconds left on the clock.
Hmm. Like I can still like just like charge like Galaxy and get Bell, like just like get all my high tier foods, but like don't like just like but like I can't play like that obviously if there's like what like a minute left
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly like that.
because then they're just gonna run away.
For oh, sorry, go ahead again.
Yeah, well like that's all I meant to say. That's all I meant to
Oh,
say.
oh, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So like, as long as it's not like, left for a minute or something, where now they have the option to kind of run away from you, you can still play your game plan.
Hmm.
You just be,
Hmm.
just have to make sure you're cautious that you know how much time you actually need in order to take a stock with your character.
Yeah. Because like
Um,
with Pac-Man, it's just like I mean, like his game plan is just like get food, get damage, like that, like that's pretty much it. Like just get his like just get his higher tier foods like Galaxian, get Galaxian to get damage, get Bell like to get kills, Key to get kills, like get
Mm-hmm.
condition stuff like that.
Yep.
But obviously, it's like if I have a minute left, I can't obviously just like charge all the time. Like I need to like start running in, or like maybe just like start using like cherry, use strawberry, use orange.
Yeah. And like
Hmm.
that's when it's kind of like that time where okay, it's do or die. So it's time to make things happen there.
Hmm.
So I have a couple timestamps where, um, what is it that like for how you're playing usually and behind is it's like you said
Hmm.
that you are kind of being more aggressive more aggressive in those situations in trying to actually make more things happen so you can get back into the game. But I
Yeah.
think, like I said, the only thing is like I feel like you have plenty of time still to actually play how you're wanting to actually play.
Hmm.
So let me pull up the first example here. So I've got, and is this still showing on your screen right now?
The stream or like the VOD.
Like is it still showing? Like, is it still on YouTube right now, or is it on? What's
It's
it?
just it shows your PFP like your profile pic.
Oh, it's just on that.
Yeah,
Mm.
like just like the blue screen.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Because I'm on my computer right now.
Okay, why is it doing that then? Let's change more options. So change stream options. Here, let's end stream and then let's restart it. And then share entire screen. All right, how about now?
Uh,
You might have to like
n-
exit and
oh,
then
hold on.
re-exit.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
I'm loading into it right now.
Okay.
Okay, I see it. I see it.
Okay. So first example that I only have two of them, but it's usually game 2 and game 5 is why I saw
Yeah.
most of this kind of game like when the aggression started coming when you were down the stock
Hmm.
is let's see here. So push
And
this
like the stream like
pin.
kind of like it jumps around, so it's kind of hard to follow.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So your
I
match
would
right now,
yeah like
yeah, it's in the
I
mid.
tried asking Landon if there was like an individual kind of like game if there's like an individual kind of like recording for it,
Yep.
but he just said like there was nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried looking too just to see if it could make it easier. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so yeah, your match is in the middle. So what I saw like a little bit more of is this 104. Okay, so it's 104. So let me back up here.
Yeah.
So what I saw like in like these situations where like you are down is that let's see. It was a lot more that like you're kind of throwing like you said oranges and things like that to try and get more in and starting to actually pressure
Hmm.
them run in more, which
Hmm.
it I think it's fine, but if you look at like where the clock is right now, and it's hard to see it behind
Yeah.
that, but
It's like 4:56, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. So
This is
there's
like 4. It's around like 4:56.
yeah, and that's I think still plenty of time for you to kind of get like your
Hmm.
stronger tools and stuff going for yourself because Pac-Man, I think if he doesn't have, and you can correct me too with this, but if Pac-Man doesn't have like things like a hydrant, like he hits hydrant and
Hmm.
set up to go towards them, or doesn't have like a stronger fruit like Bell, Galaga, or Melon, his approaches
Hmm.
a lot of times can kind of be a little bit more telegraph. Do you think so too, or?
Yeah, because like really, it just like I'm just running in with like fair nair.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, it's like I can mix it up by just like dashing like within like the burst range, and it's like
Yep.
it kind of forces them to like guess like, okay, am I gonna go in now, or am I gonna go in like another time, and like trying to like to mix them up.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that can't work. But what it's doing is now, in a sense, it's like saying that you're playing a more. I don't like to say like it's more honest, but like you're playing a just like regular like neutral against them, where like you could be playing a more powered up neutral that's in your favor.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, we'd like to have more situations where like you're more powered up, you have your fruit, you have your if you have Hydra down and it's going towards them, you have a good situation you're creating that leads into possibly more guaranteed or more forced errors to get damage instead of
Mm-hmm.
you running in and still can win those situations like you said, but now it's harder because now you're going into it without any tools that can force it in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That
so
makes sense. Yeah.
so yeah, so next example, it's same thing. I think it's also a similar thing, but I just showed the example from game 5 to 118. So what
And
is it?
honestly, like I noticed, like watching Game 5 again, like I just started just like running at, and I kept on getting grabbed because I was just floating shield. Like it was like I always kept on like doing like the run up shield, and then like I just got grabbed by him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just, like that's just what I noticed like in this game particularly
Yep.
because like he went for like way more grabs, and a lot of them just landed.
And we can definitely bring that up here in a bit because there's something I want to actually bring up with that too that can help out. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, so like in this
It is
six,
kind of laggy. It is kind of laggy on the
yeah,
display. Yeah,
I was about to say I'm thinking
it's
that's
okay
just
though. Like
with
I can still like read it
yeah, I'm thinking it's
with
just
just
because of
Discord.
like everything else that's going on over at my house with
Okay,
internet connections.
all
So
good, all good.
so yeah, so for like this situation here, again, it's not bad, and I'll say this later in like the coaching too. Like, it's not bad that you are like throwing the fruits and stuff and trying to get things started. But again,
Hmm.
based on like just the situation right now, and I'm glad to have it on the big screen, is
Hmm.
that it's 4 minutes on the clock, plus also the fact
Hmm.
that we're throwing orange that it'll definitely get damage if it hits. It
Hmm.
probably maybe start a tech chase situation, but um,
Hmm.
it's
But he's
like
at like 6%, and
yeah,
that's not gonna start. Yeah.
yeah, it's not really going to start anything too meaningful. Maybe if it was just like right up next close to him, and it does hit. But like this is just from halfway across screen where he can just react to it. Though he almost did get hit by it
Okay.
still.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, by the time that you run in and like he already had air dodge back, it's back into like, he had time to maybe react and try to actually play, neutral with you in that more honest way, which ZSS is going to
Hmm.
play honest with it because of like their speed stats.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that's the big thing that I just wanted to talk about with like the comebacks is that I think for you, or well, I guess to add on to
One
it, like
second.
with that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Okay, you're all good. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, like just concluding things with like comebacks is that probably what I'd say would help is just being more just kind of like being more comfortable that like checking the time and making sure that like if there's still time on the clock that you're able to actually um play your regular gameplay style because
Hmm.
that'll help you actually be able to get yourself back into the game like in a more strong way than it is to try to rush things for Pac-Man when he probably might not be at his strongest. So
Hmm.
finding something that can help you maybe calm down mid-match if you feel like that might also be a thing that gets you rolling is that like you're not maybe realizing it. Uh,
Hmm.
so these things are kind of like the light rolling up his sleeves even though he says that it's just because he keeps falling down it definitely helps. It's the fact that it's something that he's able to control and help himself realize he's in that
Hmm.
situation. um do you listen when you're playing matches? Do you listen to music or anything when you're playing or
Mm-mm. It's just
okay,
game audio. Or like
gotcha,
if I just have like my AirPods in, it's just to like just like block out noise.
gotcha, okay,
Or just
um
like I just listen to game audio like mostly.
got it. Okay, because yeah, I was about to say that was
Hmm.
one thing maybe that you could do is just have certain kind of music that helps you more like be relaxed, like mid set. I'm not someone who
Mhm.
listens to music too in the beginning, middle of matches, but I know some people definitely do
Mhm.
that, and it helps out a lot. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, you could do something even like if you take like in between stocks, like you lose a stock, just take like a deep breath because that's something you can also control too, and realize that you're
True.
again
Yeah.
in that moment, so you'll get refocused in.
Mhm.
And then again, just having, faith, and it goes back into the time, but having faith that like your game plan and adaptation will work because you've gotten this far like in the bracket playing against doorstop. So your game is about
Mhm.
to say as long as you trust in it and realize you got time to still execute it, then you should feel more comfortable
Mhm.
playing it out.
Yeah, and I was feeling a little bit confident like with that playstyle because I beat Worry, who was like number one in Kentucky at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also beat Duck in that like the round after. So and the round before doorstop. So I was like, okay, I'm feeling confident about this playstyle.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
All right, but yeah, that's all I have for like playing from behind. Was there any questions you had more further about it, or
Not really.
okay? All right, then we'll go on into like the other two topics of either getting out of the corner or like optimizing like your advantage with fruits and positioning. So whichever one that you want to
Hmm.
start with.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I'll just go down. Yeah, I'll just go down the list of things. So playing from behind. So getting out of the corner. So I'm actually curious first, what kind of things did you find out about like getting out of the corner when you were playing, or like when you looked and everything?
Honestly, honestly, like what I try to do, well, like I just try to like if I do like an option out of the corner, say like I roll out of the corner,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, okay, so like I'll keep in the back of my head, okay, I rolled out of the corner. And then obviously it's like I can mix up the timing of it too. Like I can wait a little bit, say like not so say like instead of doing it like immediately, I do it maybe like 2 seconds after, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
like I can like run up then roll out the corner, and like that gets me more to center stage. Like so it has like its benefits of like changing it up, but
Mm-hmm.
like if you always just like rolling out the corner, they're gonna get the general idea that okay, like they're just gonna roll out the corner, and then like next time I'll put myself in a position where I can punish that, and then I can just get that punish when I want to.
Okay. Okay. So it's a lot of
Hmm.
figuring out like with timing mix-ups even with the same
Hmm.
options, what you're saying, right?
Hmm. And then you also just need to make sure like when like they're giving you space because like there will be like times where like they want you to like kind of like come out the corner so they can like pressure you just running in like running out the corner just like trying to get out the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree
So
with
I
you there.
can like it's like instead of like so like as a mix up I can just like stand in the corner instead and just wait for them to like do something committal and then they put themselves in the corner. So it's kind of just like a turnover kind of situation in the end.
Yep. Yep, I was about to say I like
Hmm.
that answer too with it. Um, so yeah, I'll add on a couple things with it from what I've kind of found too. But starting with it, what I would say like for getting out of the corner or any disadvantage, I always view it, just from my experience that the goal of it is just as simple as possible, just getting out of the situation while taking the least damage or without losing a stock if possible. So,
Hmm.
like you're saying, like just playing slower to kind of bait the opponent to kind of commit, or like themselves give you more space to do things. And then another
Hmm.
thing, like knowing what options in that situation will actually take your stock and avoid them. So if we, let's
Hmm.
say for example, just right now, just from on the screen, like if say CSS had you in the corner, the only things that would
Hmm.
actually kill you at that percent would probably be down smash into up B, some
Hmm.
type of smash attack, back air, um, just basically those things, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So like knowing those are the things that like have you'd have to watch out for, you could feel more comfortable that like um anything else that hits you, or like if it's weak hit back. I
Hmm.
don't think. Well, I'm not sure if backer has like a weak hitbox, but like any aerials and stuff that
It
isn't.
doesn't. I'm pretty sure it just has that one like strong hitbox.
Yep. So yeah, so like anything that isn't.
Maybe I'm not entirely sure, but
Gotcha. But yeah, like as long as it's not
yeah.
any of those things that hit you, it's like you're all right. You're sure you're off stage, but like that's
Hmm.
not the stock. So like you're still able to actually
Hmm.
get back to ledge and still play after that.
You kind of just have to like gauge like that risk reward at the end of the day.
Yep. So once you see that, okay. So now, how I see your corner disadvantage, to me at least, your go-to
Hmm.
option I usually see when you're trying to come out of the corner, and this is usually consistent both like in all of your games.
Yes. Yeah.
Besides like when you're actually getting out, besides like when you're down, well, even sometimes when you're down, is that you tend
Hmm.
to just run up and shield, which
Yeah. I
which
noticed.
is
I've noticed that.
which is a very strong option because, like you said, it's something
Hmm.
that forces them to actually have to be more like just following that not example, that definition of like um, disadvantage. It forces them to either
Hmm.
have to, in order to completely beat it, that they have to like go for grabs or like try to space around
Hmm.
your shield and things like that. Um,
Hmm.
so that gives you more time to be able to do things. But for
Yeah.
in your case, I think it gets to a point where like it's kind of over reliance of it. So I'll just pull up just the beginning
Hmm.
of the match of yeah, this is definitely choppy. But here,
Hmm.
let me just pull up like the beginning of the set here. It was like 10. Oh no, it was 58. That's why I'm getting
Like one.
confused.
Yeah.
Um
58.
that's like when the set
It's
was
around the time
made.
that Wolfie set with Ice Knight begins.
Yep.
Like
Okay,
around
yep.
that time.
So yeah, so it's the bottom left here.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of times it is kind of like either in neutral or just like in the corner even, is that it's a lot of like run in like that, like run in shield, but it's also like holding shield and I guess kind of waiting for something to hit your shield so you can retaliate out because Pac-Man has pretty good
Yeah.
frame options on shield.
Hmm.
Uh, so that on itself isn't bad, but like I said, I think it's just kind of over relying on it, and it gets to the point, like we
Hmm.
said, that if they start catching on, it gets to that situation where they just start spacing around it, which I have an example here that I'm going to
Hmm.
show. That, or like you said, like going for the grabs, which is probably why game five, like you said, you're seeing more grabs coming out of door stopping and them connecting.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Or even, yeah, it just popped up into like a good situation right there. Or, well, that was a run out corner,
Hmm.
but. So this is like them spacing around your shield here after you run that shield.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't want to say it essentially gets you to lose the stock, but it is essentially why your bat's like still in the corner.
Yeah. It's like it's just like why I'm still in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're a brave person for actually just jumping up and like not getting that
Yeah,
bounce dash
yeah,
hit
because
on
I was
you.
just like I wasn't thinking about anything because I thought it hit for a second, but I was like, oh wait, it didn't hit. I'm good
Yeah.
because like normally that's a bad option, but I wanted to mix it up. I thought I was like, okay, like this just might be a mix up, so I went for it and it connected. I was like, oh, it worked.
Yep.
As
Yeah.
long as it works, like it's okay.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to say we got that same agreement about it.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I said,
Like it can be like the dumbest, like your dumb option isn't a dumb option unless if it works.
mm-hmm. Let's see
That's
here.
what that's what I've learned.
Yep. Yep. And again, like I said,
Hmm.
the run at so it's the bottom left right here. The run in shield isn't all bad, like we
Hmm.
said, because like if you know something's going to come, you get that forward air out of shield, like it showed like here. Um,
Yeah.
so what we're probably just wanting to do is just, well, two things. The first thing is just maybe consider, so just consider being more aware of the fact that like you're using run in shield, and then like consider
Hmm.
like how they're playing around it, which is
Hmm.
um basically how game 3 and game 4 was a lot better for you because like doorstop was trying to go for a lot of landing aerials and grabs, and what helped you was that
Yeah.
you were swinging more and setting up hydrants since the run and shield was conditioning him to actually try to go for those things, which we've got
Yeah.
some timestamps on that too. Like one example here, this should be game 3 in the bottom right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So like here, let's see, that like that run in F tilt.
Yeah, because like I kind of like figured, okay, like he's just gonna land there. I'm just gonna punish that, and like it's a good option for killing at that percent.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was
It's
a
good.
strong
It's safe. It's quick.
mm-hmm. Then let's show one other example of like, I think this one's just like a corner example, like you coming out of the corner and getting the punish for it too. Yeah, because like you're in the corner here. Yeah, like trying to go for that rising fair to try and push him off there, and then get
Hmm.
him actually scared basically.
Hmm.
So yeah, those games 3 and 4 primarily like went a lot better because of you swinging more after realizing that like he's going for these landing aerials or these grabs on you, and also
Hmm.
trying to set up hydrates more so you can get your bonus fruits and playing towards your win condition.
Yeah.
So that will probably be just the biggest thing. It's just being playing around what your mix-ups are when you run in shield. And then the other
Hmm.
one that I wanted to actually show you is, do you know about the parry option select?
The what? The
Oh,
parry
this,
option. The parry option select.
yes. I was about to say you are going to enjoy this here. So let me swap
I
over
don't
to,
actually.
okay. So let me swap over to my game screen here. So what I'm going to show you is, this is something that this is a good skill to actually learn, because a lot of the top, I didn't realize this till I learned it, but like a lot of the top level use this Parry OS, and Light is the biggest one that you can see using it like all the time. So are
Hmm.
you able to see my screen right now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Pac-Man's doing his little jig right now.
You're on Pac-Land. Yeah. Yeah. Red
Okay,
all. I see it.
all right. So what this is basically is that all it is that it is holding shield but letting go
Hmm.
and doing an aerial after, instead of holding shield
Hmm.
and then doing your aerial as soon as possible. And you can tell the
Hmm.
difference. You can tell the difference because like the input display at the top there, if you're doing like hold
Hmm.
shield and then do the aerial, there's no gap or anything. You
Yeah.
see the jump, but with this, you see a small gap, which is like those 4 frames
Hmm.
there. That
Hmm.
window right there is a parry opportunity, because you're letting go of shield, and then in between that, if there's nothing that happens, um, you're able to, instead of go through the full 11 frames of like shield drop, you're able to still
Hmm.
cancel those if you do jump, like jump and do aerials, or even do up smashes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So how this works is that, let's say I set up CSS to, let's just start and show like play slot 1, which is dash attack. So anytime I get close
Okay.
enough, she's going to just dash attack. So what this does is that if you do this parry option select, you can essentially try to attempt a parry and then just buff by letting go of it and then trying to buffer your attack. If you're too late and they hit your attack, like hit your shield before anything happens, you're still going to get your
Hmm.
nair out because of the buffer. Um, and
Yeah.
and then if you time it right, you'll get. I was about to say, you'll basically get the parry, and then you'll still get your aerial out. Or if you react to it, you can even go for a stronger punish. So let's
Hmm.
see if I can, because this is probably going to cross up. So let me see if I can get F smash.
Yeah. The F smash.
Yep. And then if you are, what is the other ones? So yeah, so basically it allows you to show the difference between that, shoot with dash attack, show with grab. So yeah, so if they hit you before the shield drops, you'll just buffer an aerial. If it parries, it'll still buffer the aerial, or you can react and you can do a bigger punish. And then if there is no hit on your shield, at least you're not staying like in one spot, like still. So like you can be able to
Hmm.
just dash up, just do that out, or jump out, or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and this helps too because it can beat like grab attempts as well. So let's say if I change it to play slot 2, which that's grab now. You're able to just beat grab attempts too sometimes. Maybe like tether grabs is really good against, but like sometimes even other people who are delaying because they're reacting to you dashing in, and then you do an aerial out, you can be able to catch them before they do anything.
Hmm.
So let's put both of these on. So it's just going to randomly do one of the two. Like I'm basically just doing it at the same timing for both of them.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I'm seeing how like you're getting that punish like on like both of the options.
Mm-hmm. And what's good
Mm-hmm.
about it is that if you just use this just as if you use this just as the basis to start, like say for your game plan when neutral, if you use this just as the
Mm-hmm.
basis, and then you find out later on, oh, so they are like dash, like for sure they are dash attacking, or doing like some weird thing on your shield, you can go for those harder reads,
Mm-hmm.
like we said, where
Mm-hmm.
um, let's say we know that they're going for grab attempts, so like it opens the door for you to actually be able to see, like go into spot dodges in like crucial situations of like down smash or up smash, like when you're both at 150%, and you can be more comfortable with going for that read.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
That makes sense.
so that's what I'd like to just add on and just sum up with your corner, like getting out of the corner, is just
Mm-hmm.
watching more about like how run and shield is making the opponent react, which a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times it's them either doing landing aerials or them like trying to run up and go for a grab attempt. And
Mm-hmm.
then so making sure you have mix-ups prepared for that. And then the other thing is maybe giving this delay parry
Mm-hmm.
OS a try, and then so that
Mm-hmm.
way you can be able to make your run and shield out of corners stronger.
Okay, and don't you put like this stuff in like a document like after the session?
Yep, I do.
Okay, will the option select like concept be in the document as well?
Yep, everything I'm talking about will be in it.
All right, cool, cool, cool.
Okay.
Just want to know.
Yep. But yeah, that's basically what I have with it. Cause this is just stuff to add on with what you were saying before with getting out of the corner and disadvantage, which I agree with too. Is trying to get them to force them to do options, and then playing around that, so you know what you can at least get away with. Like if they're trying to cover jumps or stuff like that, then run and shield, you can just run underneath it and of that nature.
Okay.
But any questions from that or?
Not really.
Okay. All right. So I'll just keep it on the screen for right now. But for
Well, I guess
yeah.
one thing that you could, I
Mhm.
guess one thing that you could like elaborate on is like I've understood like the whole like concept of like what like an option select like situation is, but can you
Mhm.
like explain it like a little bit more? Because like I don't really get it like 100%. Like I understand it, but I don't really like get I don't get like 100%.
Uh, so how I would say it is, do you know have you played Street Fighter before?
I haven't.
Okay. So this thing is very similar to like in Street Fighter, where what it basically is that actually almost exactly like it. So when someone is knocked down in the corner in Street Fighter 6, a big thing that
Mm-hmm.
people will focus on is like strike or throw, which basically what it is that
Mm-hmm.
they'll do a meet, like it's called like a meaty, but like they're doing an attack like where they're taking advantage of the more active frames of their hit of a move to punish you pressing
Okay.
something if you wake up. And then if you don't press anything, then they try to go for a throw. So in that game,
Okay.
what they do is they call it delay tech, which is
Mm-hmm.
just like in this game, like if two grabs happen at the same time, it cancels out. If
Yeah.
so, like during on your wake up on defense, what people tell you to do, like as a starting thing that's strong, is to hold, just like with the parry, like this parry thing, is just to hold
Mm-hmm.
shield briefly or hold down back to block briefly, and then
Mm-hmm.
when you and like and then try to go for a grab, because what it does is if
Mm-hmm.
they go for a meaty attack and they try to hit you,
Mm-hmm.
you're already blocking. And then if they're trying to go
Mm-hmm.
for a grab attempt, you have like I think it's like 5-6 frames or something like that to break out of a grab once it actually connects with your hitbox.
Mm-hmm.
So the first part of it basically is that the first part is going to help you against someone who is going for like a meaty attempt, meaty setup when you're waking up on defense in Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second part of it is going to protect you from someone who decides to try and go for a grab. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just you're doing just one thing that covers two options basically.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, does
Okay,
that
that makes sense.
okay?
Yeah, that helps out a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's no problem. And like with this, it's not like this Parry OS. It's not like what's the word for it? It doesn't solve everything because like if someone
Okay.
knows that you're doing this, just like in Street Fighter, what they'll do is that maybe they will delay their buttons even more, or like they'll delay their attacks,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they'll get even stronger punish because if you go for a grab and you get hit out of it, in
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter, it's a punish counter, which gives more frames to do even bigger damages on you. And then same thing here, if you're
Mm-hmm.
going for this OS, and they know like your option afterwards is like you're just going to go for nair, they read that and they go for like
Mm-hmm.
even stronger punish. Or if yours is like run up spot dodge, they go for even stronger punish after that.
That makes sense.
All right,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
all right. It's glad I was able to help out with that. Okay,
Yeah, that definitely helps me like broaden my understanding.
okay. Uh, so next up we have optimizing punishes. So for that, I have well, we'll start first with what you found out with optimizing like positioning and also with bonus fruits. So what have you found out with it?
Hmm. I've kind of found that like using the originally like I never really like tried to use like the lower tier fruits like cherry because like cherry, strawberry because like oh like they just come out for like maybe like 2 3 seconds and then like they just disappear and they don't really like do anything. I've kind of found that like they help like push me like help me like they help me like push my advantage like even more because
Mm-hmm.
they allow for me to like keep them off to like it kind of allows me to like allows them to like well it allows me to like keep like I'm sorry but keep them out of the corner a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
like keep them off stage a little bit more, and that allows me to like obviously like push my edge guarding a little bit more, and it allows me to like get my like get bell, get key, and kind of puts them into a situation where they have to be defensive, where it's like they have to be ready for it, and like say like if they were shield because of it, I'm gonna be like okay like I can just go for a grab. That like they're gonna get thrown off stage, and that allows me to get the kill even like faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's about to say that's good stuff there. That's
Hmm.
also part of the things I was going to talk about here too with some of those fruits. So I was glad that you
Hmm.
especially started talking about like some of those first couple of fruits because not many Pac-Mans I think even think about like different ways that they can use those. Uh,
Hmm.
so well I guess before I go into my next thing real quick, how do you question real quick is how do you focus on like positioning like whenever you are in advantage? So like let's say for example, if you the roles are changing, you have ZSS in the corner. Where do you try to position
Hmm.
yourself?
I kind of try to position myself in a way where it's like so say if I have like Galaxian right. So say like if I'm about like
Oops.
towards like towards like the platform's like edge, right? Like like the left side, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting myself in a situation where say like if they're gonna like try and hold forward and jump out of the corner, right?
Yep.
I can like put myself in a position where I can like if they jump in, okay, I'm just gonna follow them and then punish them. It's like what's the term for it? Where it's like if they're like jumping towards you and you're like positioning yourself to like hit it.
It's oh, so
I
like
kind
they're
of forgot the
jumping
term for it.
so like they're jumping towards you and you say like as they're jumping towards you you swing or
Like you follow them, like in a way. It's like overshooting. I think it's
oh
like overshooting.
that's what you're meaning. So like yeah, if they are
Hmm.
so I guess it depends on like how you are doing it, but like yeah, if you are
Hmm.
yeah, so if they are coming in like that, you're undershooting your attacks.
Hmm.
Because instead of like going towards
And then
where
it's
hmm
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, so like it's basically instead of
Hmm.
like going towards where zero suit is, you feel like she's going to jump
Mm-hmm.
in, you're just going to undershoot your attack and like swing closer to you instead of like swinging to where
Mm-hmm.
they are, or like overshooting where like you think that they're going to move away from where they are, so you go even further and chase after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So like that's what I kind of try and do, and then also with like Galaxian, it like having like it's like having Galaxian in like that position right there. It allows me to cover like neutral get up, roll get up, and then and sometimes in some like situations like jump get up as well
Mm-hmm.
because like it'll hit them as they're doing the animation.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hmm.
I like that answer. Uh, Here, let me go into what I've got for it here.
And depending on if they shield, I'll have enough time to go up and grab them or like just like punish them shooting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good position
Hmm.
being right there and being able to threaten all those things. Even if you don't know exactly what they're
Hmm.
going for, you at least have a safe
Hmm.
bet of like what you
Yeah,
can threaten.
yeah,
Uh,
because it allows me to like punish all those like potential options. It also gives me like that stage control and
yep,
like that space for me to say like, hey, like come in, I'm gonna punish you if you try to come in.
yep. I like that.
Hmm.
Okay, here, let me go into what I have for like with optimizing punishes. So positioning in advantage, it follows up in line with what you're saying too. From my experience, it's like the goal of advantage is just maintaining whatever situation you have for as long as possible. So for positioning
Hmm.
with that, this means covering. You're basically trying to first cover the worst possible scenario that will reverse the situation. So if we're in the corner
Okay.
here, what would probably be the easiest thing that Zero Suit could do? Like just anyone can do. Like they're in the corner and all they're just trying to do is get out of the corner. What's probably the easiest thing that they can do?
Like get out of the corner,
Yeah.
probably like down B,
Yep.
flip kick.
Yep. Let's say if it's not
Hmm.
just Zero Suit, but let's say it's just any character. Like if regardless of the character, there's one big thing that any character can actually do to get out of a corner.
Uh, Probably like a move that like it does damage and also like it gives them kind of like that armor and like it puts them back in center stage. Like it do you kind of like something like that.
Yep. You're kind of there. Uh,
Hmm.
so I'd say the biggest thing is where is that option? Is roll.
Hmm.
So
Cool. Hmm.
easily roll just immediately gets them if they swap spot like they just swap spots with you
Hmm.
because that basically just immediately swaps the situation if they do roll past you. Of course, Xerxes is going to roll as
Hmm.
soon as I get close, but it just roll like changes the roll immediately, and now they're able to actually
Hmm.
run back to center stage or pressure you, when originally that was
Hmm.
what you're wanting to do. So
Yeah, that makes
advantages,
sense.
yep. So advantages deal with just not giving them that situation, like the easy way out is what I call it. You're not giving them that easy roll
Okay.
in, or like you said, the easy flip kick or flip
Hmm.
jump with
And
quick
that's when
sets.
mhm. And that's how like this position like kind of like works well in this matchup because I'm punishing the roll and I'm punishing a potential down B.
Yep, exactly. So it's a good spot
Hmm.
that you're at, where like you're not going to allow them to just freely roll behind you or flip jump behind you. You're able to
Hmm.
keep them still in front of you, and it maybe even possibly punish. But if it doesn't get a punish, well, at least they're still in front of you in the corner. Uh,
Hmm.
ju- ju- ju. so yeah, so that's how both ledge trapping and corner pressure is. It's like standing at roll, like a little away from roll distance, edge guarding, like um, it's making sure that they can't jump and get past you to get back on stage, and then juggling, making sure that
Hmm.
like they don't um get below you. So basically, they're all just
Hmm.
dealing with making sure that they don't get closer to like center stage because whoever's closer to center stage has more stage control, but it just changes how you're trying to
Hmm.
keep them away from the center. uh
Yeah.
so with that, like you're saying with projectiles, it can help maintain advantage easier by forcing options or covering multiple options on reaction as you watch for what it doesn't cover. So like
hmm
so
And
same
then
I.
also like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
So it's just the same idea that like for you like you said that you do listen to music and also you do like running.
hmm
It's same thing that people say for like whenever you're trying to get like a pace and make yourself easier to actually like continue running. They always say like either
hmm
using having your own like breathing rhythm or maybe having certain songs that help you keep pace with like how you're running will allow you to actually run
Yeah,
longer.
yeah, that makes sense.
But you had something that you were saying also.
And also just like having Galaxian, I also just try to like watch like, okay, I have Galaxian. How do they respond to me having like that fruit in hand,
Yep.
right? So say like if I have like Key, right? Like 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 a lot of times like with Key, I'm trying to like get them to shield, right? Because it having Key in hand or just like having Key charged up, it creates like that fear factor. And if they're gonna run up shield, I'm just gonna grab them and then put them off stage, and then that makes it easier for me to like kill get like take the stock.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like it's kind of the same thing like for Galaxian, because like oh like Galaxian does a lot of damage. Obviously, like they're gonna not want that. Like they're gonna try and avoid that. So like maybe like the first option might be shield. Okay, like they're gonna shield, same thing.
Yep. Yep.
hmm
Same exact idea with that. So for gameplay wise, for like looking at like your gameplay, I didn't really
hmm
notice like well I wasn't paying too much attention for it for like um situations where like your projectiles can maybe be used like in those advantage situations, but I did instead just list
hmm
how maybe you can use some of the fruits in certain ways to actually help your advantages like you were saying before. The only really
hmm
big one that I noticed was covering tech chases with orange, for example, which I have timestamps for that too that I've already put inside of the dock. But using orange or key while you're standing close around like a roll in distance, so that way like if they
hmm
do any of the other options that isn't um it's the same thing. It's the same thing if like let's say for example, what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking for her to actually stop rolling real quick. Um, but it's like the same thing with say like you force a tech situation without a fruit. Okay, and like
hmm
similar thing, another option select that they call the gimmer, but like also like uses it very well too. But like just run in, and you do
hmm
this also. Is like
Yeah.
run in like jab and then watch whichever way they go afterwards. If they miss the tech, you got jab punish, and then if you miss, they roll a certain way or like they tech in place, you just continue jabbing or whatever.
hmm
Um, so same thing where which fruit do we have loaded up? Let's get rid of that and let's try to get orange.
hmm
So yeah, so same thing where like you're going covering tech chases, you're
hmm
standing in roll in distance. Let's see, which I think is for ZSS. Yeah, about like right here,
Yeah.
where you just
'Cause,
wait
like
until you.
she rolls kind of far.
Yep. So it makes it harder on her.
Yeah.
But yeah, like doing that, and
Yeah.
then instead just trying to actually stand where you think their roll in is, and then just react with your fruit to actually just cover everything else. And then even if it doesn't hit them, it's like,
hmm
well, you put them in a bad situation because maybe they were forced to shield because of it, and then you can run up and start more pressure. But I saw you already do basically this pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just adding on some different situations that you can use fruits and other advantages. Like if you have melon or galactia, like you said, or let's just use melon for example, you can run
hmm
behind it as like an approach, like a Pikachu, teach old Mario Fireball, and then force them to actually react a certain way. Um,
hmm
and you already do it with Galaga. but that's covering
Mhm.
tech chases on reaction as you watch for roll in, forcing options off stage, and this is what you were saying before too, um, where you have them
Mhm.
edge guarding against them.
Mhm.
Well, actually, melon still works, but let's change
Mhm.
the camera. Here we go. So let's say we throw. We're basically chasing after the melon. Oh,
Mhm.
and we're just watching what happens afterwards and just trying to cover what happens.
Mhm.
So if they jump up after you throw it, you're right here covering it. And then if they go low, you follow down with them. So it's basically like freely having to force them to do something. Even air
Mhm.
dodges is something that's useful for you because now it forces them to have to go low. There's no way they can like just automatically like full hop back up unless it's Snake
Mhm.
or ZSS.
Yeah.
Um,
And then also just like a big thing that like I look for is that like I try to look for when they like to like double jump or like just like use that like option because like I'm like it kind of helps with like making them like waste their resources. So it's like say like if they don't have a jump or like they don't have an air dodge, they're gonna go for like the more desperate option, and that just allows me to get the kill easier.
yep. It's about to
Hmm.
say it's good thinking with that too. So that way it's cutting off a lot of their
Because yeah,
options.
because like it did because like if I know like when they're gonna use that resource, I'm just gonna throw food there and like they just get pushed off. But now it's just the same situation, but they don't have that resource.
Yep. Exactly. Okay. So yeah, like I said, I didn't really, aside from tech chasing with like orange, I didn't really know that like pay too much attention to it. It was just more so just me giving like the idea of like these are probably good ways on how you can actually use maybe some of those other fruits. So let's get rid of melon, but like you're saying, same thing with throwing cherry off. Let's see here. Get rid of that. Save like saving cherry off, like throwing cherry, like that has a lower arc compared to strawberry. So it could be
Hmm.
something used for like for messing with lower recoveries or someone that's already going low, and then
Hmm.
you can be able to follow up after that and things of that nature. So it gives more ideas for those less used fruits, like you had already said.
Yeah.
Mm, Well, that's all I've got for that section as well too. Any questions about that with positioning and things, or
No, you've kind of covered like everything I wanted you to go over, so I appreciate that. That I had questions about.
sweet? That's no problem.
Hmm.
I wanted to actually just I guess like real quick, also go over one other thing because I know you brought it up with wanting to talk about game plans, and I was just curious about this myself too. So I wanted to ask, um, what do you kind of think your like with Pac-Man, what do you think like is your go-to thing like with neutral and stuff? Like what's your big focus that will help you like easily win the match? Like is there a certain move that you usually try to go
Well,
for?
it really just depends on the matchup, but
Mm-hmm.
typically, like in most matchups, my game plan is really just to like I can't really like my game plan is to really just like stay behind Hydrant, get to like Galaxian, and like get those foods where like I can confidently like go in and like get damage.
Yeah.
And then obviously like and then obviously it's like I can always just like go out and just like go for Nan Fair, just like be like more like scrappy. But
Yep.
it's just better if I just get those foods so I can just have that like that factor, just like knowing saying like hey like I can get damage, like just get good damage off of just like the interactions I get into.
Mm-hmm. Like having that
Hmm.
more reinsurance that like your approach or like when you do go in, it's stronger. Than it
Hmm.
could be just going in without it.
Hmm.
Yep. And I agree.
And just knowing that I have that out shield option as well.
Yep. And I agree with you there. That itself is already a strong game
Hmm.
um, tool of like putting hydrant to disrupt them coming in towards you, and then just getting whatever bonus fruit that you want. it's almost one could say
Hmm.
it's like Steve-esque kind of gameplay.
Yeah. And then and then like yeah, and also just like playing like that helps in like matchups like Steve and and especially against like Samus too, because like Samus can just get charge shot and she just has like all those projectiles like at ready when I have to I have to like charge those.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Good, good. Uh, so
Hmm.
yeah, so I just wanted to kind of talk about that and maybe give like a new idea of thinking about game plans, just real quick for you as
Hmm.
well. Because how I've it's changed dramatically since I first started thinking about game plans, but I think my current running thing with game plans is focusing on that one strong move or sequence and then making
Hmm.
sure you see how the opponent play around it. So like we said, having hydrant charging bonus fruits in neutral.
Hmm.
Um, and then and then seeing how strong that move is can be based on like two categories. The first one I say is like what kind of move is it? So like the main appeal of the move. So it helps you. These factors help tell you who dictates the match. So like, is it a
Hmm.
projectile? Is it disjointed? Does it have good speed? So the higher up, if you look at those three options as a totem pole, the higher up on the totem pole your option is, the better chances you like dictate the match. You don't control it outright,
Okay.
but you at least have like the say in the matchup of like how the speed usually goes for it if you're playing if you're playing towards like your game plan. Um
Okay.
so that's why most people when they play against Pac-Man, they already say that like, it's in his control cuz he put Hydron out, he's charging fruit. You got this
Hmm.
thing that they have to play around and depending on how you set it up, so Hydrant like right here and you're getting your fruit. You've
Hmm.
got your fruit now, your game plan, and then you're
I
swapping
have
over
the
to start being
house. I can.
aggressive. Yep, just like you got your
Hmm.
little old house. You pay mortgage on it just like everyone else, but you only pay yours in like pack pellets.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, and then the second category is just what additional qualities make it good. So if we said specifically we're trying to go towards getting like Galaga, like how
Hmm.
we say like how active is it? Does it have like a lot of active hitboxes? Is it multi-hit? How safe is the move on shield, combo starter, all of these good things that help expand on the move itself from
Hmm.
there. So once you have that move, you kind of decide on like whether you play aggressively or defensively with it. Which aggressively you're moving forward and you're trying to attack the opponent. Defensively you're maintaining a space and trying to keep the opponent out. Um,
Hmm.
so for you, how would you actually describe like yours for Pac-Man? Would you say it is just defensively or
It's a
aggressively?
mix, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly just like a mix. It's definitely just like a mix.
Yep. He, I was about to say him and like a lot of
Hmm.
other, I'd say,
And then obviously it depends. It depends in. It really just depends on the matchup.
yep,
So, like if it's like Snake, or if it's like Snake, or if it's just like Steve, then I'm just playing defensively like most of the time.
yep. Um, I'd say probably for characters like Pac-Man or like other characters that I put them in this area where I call them like trap characters or like buffing
Yeah,
characters.
trap kit.
I would say
Yeah.
like they play two they play like in two phases. The first phase is the power up phase, so getting whatever
Hmm.
fruit you want and then hiding behind hydrant. Then once you get your desired
Yeah.
fruit, now it's the aggressive phase where now you try to set up a good situation to maximize what you've gotten. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, for them, I'd say they play both, but they probably usually start defensively, and then they only start aggressively if they're trying to keep someone out so they can power up.
Yeah.
So this next one, now this one I think will kind of open maybe some ideas about like neutral for you. But what do you think is the rock paper scissors of fighting games?
Just like obviously it's like grab's gonna beat shield, grounded attacks are gonna beat uh, like aerials, like stuff like that.
Okay, so the whole
Just like that triangle, just like that triangle.
Okay, so the whole attack, grab, and shield.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that answer. But now I'm about to show you the actual secret triangle that actually expands into all fighting games, and actually just by knowing this will help your gameplay a lot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so let me first send you a couple photos here. So where is okay? So there you are. So I'm gonna send these through Discord for you. But
Okay.
let us get this first one saved. And then since we said that our gameplay is, well, since it starts defensively, I'll send these two photos. So,
Okay, I see it.
okay. So what I've sent you is what I've noticed from like playing and seeing other fighting games is the full fighting game rock paper scissors, which the answer you gave me is correct, but when you look at this, I think it'll make it not only will it change how you think of it, it will actually show you that two of those options that you listed actually fall underneath just one of these. So what
Mm-hmm.
you've listed, I think, only tells you two of the options. But
Mm-hmm.
how rock paper scissors in fighting games go is you have proactive options, preemptive options, and whiff punish options. So proactive, those are just like anything that's aggressive that you're going towards someone, with the intent to
Mm-hmm.
actually like just to add damage or put pressure on them. So if you have Galaga like ready to go and you throw
Mm-hmm.
it out, that's proactive because even if it doesn't hit, you're putting it out in an attempt to either get damage or put pressure on them to put them in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Preemptive. Actually, I'll just go around the triangle since I started with proactive. So, with punish after that, it's basically no. Actually, make more sense just to talk about preemptive. So, preemptive is swinging an attack or doing things as quickly as possible, so that way you can try to stop an approach. So,
Mm-hmm.
in Pac-Man's case, I guess it looks as if it's kind of aggressive, but what it is that whenever you are trying to get your fruit set up and someone is actually like attacking hydrant, you once they
Mm-hmm.
hit the hydrant first, you'll do like an F tilt or something to send it right back to them, and that creates space so
Mm-hmm.
you can continue charging. Or maybe you don't
Mm-hmm.
have enough time to get the hydrant out, so instead of trying to set it up, you go for a rising aerial because you notice they stop you before you actually get your hydrant out.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll start doing like maybe run back in, doing rising aerials or doing dash attacks and stuff to stop them. Then go back to being setting up your setting up your wall and then getting your fruit out. Um,
Okay.
and then whiff punish is basically just as it's described. It's just waiting and reacting for a specific move someone does. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
all that basically is, it can go into many different ways, but the easiest way that most people can remember it is just waiting in shield. And then once something hits your
Okay.
shield, grab or do an attack out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so it goes in this triangle where proactive beats people who like to whiff punish because people who like to whiff punish are just waiting or staying in shield. So they take the
Mm-hmm.
initiative to go up, run up, grab, or to just set up pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And then since they're waiting for like a specific thing to happen, when they see that happen, they get a little panicky, and then it puts them in a bad situation. Whip
Mm-hmm.
punishes beat preemptive play because if you're just throwing out Pac-Man like rising back airs, they just run underneath and
Mm-hmm.
just like shield it, and then they go for a punish right after because they're looking for you to
Mm-hmm.
specifically do that, or run up shield, specifically wait for someone to do something on your shield, and then they're out.
Okay.
And then preemptive, that beats proactive, and this one most people don't like truly grasp until like they just realize that like that you explained it to them, but like it beats proactive
Mm-hmm.
because you never know when they're going to come in. So if you put out a hitbox just like almost randomly when you feel like that they
Mm-hmm.
are going to come in, it does two
Mm-hmm.
things. It either is going to hit them, or the fact that you're doing that move and they're reacting to it, and that now they're coming towards you to be aggressive. You, while the move is ending, you can react to how they're coming in, and you can decide to go for another
Mm-hmm.
attack, or you can even back up and then put a hitbox out,
Okay.
basically.
Okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
That makes sense.
All right. So
But
now,
I'm seeing the chart, and it makes a lot more sense. Like now that you're explaining it.
okay, good. Because yeah, the original way of like explaining it of like attacks, grabs, and shield, if you like explain it that way, technically attacks and grabs are pressure tools, so they both just rely are in proactive. So if you kind of have
Mm-hmm.
that idea of gameplay, a lot of people, I think this is where people get frustrated, is that like if they kind of think of the rock paper scissors like that, they go for a grab or they go for like an attack, and someone's just swinging buttons. They're just saying, "Oh, this person's random. All they're doing is just mashing buttons." It's like, no, you're just choosing the same option that's going to lose to preemptive play, which is
Mm-hmm.
like the same category options. Being you're just running in and you're just trying to either attack or you're just trying to grab, which is both proactive. So they need to add
Mm-hmm.
shield, or they need to like add other like whiff punish tools.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I go into this because I wanted to, with the second photo that I gave you, I wanted to give like the idea of, if you have this rock paper scissors in mind, what you want to do is taking your game plan tool, which is for us just putting Hydron out and then trying to be, yours is going to be unique because it's going to be two of them, but it'll start defensively. What it will be is that
Mm-hmm.
you are put Hydron out and charge up fruit. You're going to make a rock paper scissors focus on specifically that, and you're going to make other branching options from that. Uh,
Okay.
so for the defensive game plan tree, let's say you're looking at that photo, you would put hydrant like at the very top of it, hydrant charge fruit, and then you would also put
Mm-hmm.
that in the top preemptive branch because it's the same thing um, that you're going to be trying to do. And
Mm-hmm.
from there, you would actually add two other main branch options that would help you whenever they actually either beat you for being preemptive, which is like they whip punish you, or if they're just being
Mm-hmm.
proactive and you have to realize that you have to be swing more instead of just try to keep setting up your wall, and then
Okay.
add mix ups underneath it. So that way, if the mix ups, what they'll do is that way they'll just be like different ways to accomplish the same thing that that branch wants to do. So if you,
Mm-hmm.
let's say for example, like we're saying, like if you're setting up hydrant and then going into fruit charge, a mix up
Mm-hmm.
is, instead of going for that, is rising back air, or another
Yeah.
mix up is like we said, dash attack, because those are both preemptive. You're doing them as soon as possible, but they're different ways of trying to keep someone out, so that way you can be able to um, go back to charging your fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I just kind of wanted to give that as like an idea in the tool for you. As
Yeah,
like,
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, like this is like very helpful to actually like it actually helps me like now seeing it actually like gives me like a lot more ideas about how I can like analyze like certain situations and like certain play styles.
I'm glad to hear that. And I think with, if you come up with something like fully like finish this out, and even start like if you fully finish this out, it will help give you an idea of, for like make it easier for you to adapt, because now instead of just thinking about like, oh, I've got, like they stop you from putting out hydras, like, okay, what's the next thing that comes after that? If you have this made and you actually practice it
Hmm.
like in like training mode and things like that, you'll be able
Hmm.
to actually just like on reaction, just you'll be able to on reaction be able to actually think of, okay, they punished me for getting out for putting Hydra out with this move. I go
Hmm.
into preemptive or I go into with punish branch and I try this out, and if this doesn't work but it is the right branch, I'll just try this mix up instead of like what I usually do whenever I need to be more with punishy.
Hmm.
Mm. So I'd say that probably be some nice homework for you is maybe think of, and some of these things you probably already do is just probably putting it down to pen and paper, is filling this out and then just start practicing it in training mode, which I have some things that I was going to put later in the doc of like how you can actually practice it, like doing whatever your three main branches are, doing those 10 times both sides, and then doing the mix ups just what is it, 5 times on both sides.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's all I have for the coaching session, basically. Um, but is there any questions that you kind of have, or that you might have thought of, or
No, not really.
all right, good. Well, so what I will do is I have most of the doc finished, but what I'm going to do is just try to. I'll go ahead and just yeah, I'll go ahead and just send what I have right now, and then I'll have a couple things that I'll have
Okay.
to edit throughout the doc a bit. But most of what I want to
Hmm.
actually, what we've talked about, what I've said is already on there. So I'll send it to you right after this. And then the video, I'll go ahead and upload it, and then it should be ready for you tomorrow so that way you can look back at everything as well.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate your help.
Yeah, no problem. Do you have kind of, before I actually go, do you kind of have like an idea of who you might be considering sending, what is it, like a coaching session over to?
Yeah, I do. His tag is Took. He's also from NWI. He's been trying to like we go to school together and like he's on my school's esports team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, like I kind of want to get better. I want coaching. So I'm like, hey, like why not I just give you a Yoshibo like session? You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I've
Hmm.
heard his name around a couple of times. Does he play Inkling? Is that correct?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay. Oh, that'd be really fun because like.
Yeah, and like and honestly, it's like he has that passion to improve, and like it just seems like he really wants to like just get better.
Sweet, sweet. Well, yeah. Hopefully, with this,
Hmm.
like both this doc and also just like what we've worked on here, that'll give maybe some encouragement for him to give it a try.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll definitely talk to him about it.
Alrighty. Well, I am good to go. And you said you don't have any, you had no other questions and everything, right? Or
No questions. No questions.
okay, cool. Well, I was about to
All right.
say glad you gave this session a try, and hopefully some of this may help out with Hoosier Saga coming up this weekend.
All right. I appreciate it. I'll
Yeah,
do my
no,
best.
no, you're all good. Yeah, no
Hmm.
problem. Alrighty. Well,
Hmm.
you have yourself a good night. All right, Beans.
Yeah, you too.
Mm-hmm.
See ya.
Yep. See ya.